Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of an update here for the Kojima Sony situation. This is something we had talked about in Newswave yesterday, and it mostly came down to a banner update on Sony's PlayStation Studios website, and it got everyone theorizing that they were about to announce the acquisition of Kojima Productions, which is Kojima's independent studio that he started up, what was that, 2015? It was basically when he announced that Sony was going to fund Death Stranding. And now it looks like Kojima has come out on Twitter to give a bit more clarity as to what's going on. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawnwave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Said over here, this was posted up by Push Square. And this is something that Kojima tweeted out at like almost 2 a.m. the other night. So Newswave went up after this obviously had happened, which that goes up in the morning. But I still had talked about a lot of this is coming from a banner update, which, I mean, we can see the banner here. Kojima mentions, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, but Kojima Productions has been and will continue to be an independent studio. And we can see the banner there with Sam Bridges all the way to the left. The old banner, they actually removed Concrete Genie, which was a Pixel Opus, and hey, me and the 9 other people who played Concrete Genie were probably pretty sad about that, but they just basically updated their banner to reflect more current titles and more popular titles in some cases. So to have Sam Bridges' Death Stranding there isn't too surprising considering it's using their Decima engine, which is something they want to, of course, advertise. And it is a project that they funded with Kojima. My favorite part about this, though, is that Kojima is pretty straightforward here, right? This is a very clear tweet, a very clear message. Like a misunderstanding. It'll continue to be an independent studio. It's been independent this whole time. People in the comments are like, no, what's really going on here? And it makes me think of Death Stranding again. We had this whole thing with Death Stranding where he was showing it off, and he kept showing it off, and everyone was like, nah, where's the real game, Kojima? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. And then Death Stranding comes out, and it's exactly what he was showing this whole time. So, I mean, the most obvious answer, especially in this case, is probably the correct one. And yes, I am leaning towards Kojima tweeting out the banner here, being excited. Oh, look, Sam Bridges, this character that I created with, obviously, Norman Reedus and Death Stranding, is up there alongside of Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Horizon, Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank, Astro Bot. Big franchises from Sony. Death Stranding is part of that. Now, this doesn't mean that Sony won't fund another project for Kojima Productions and it's just another PlayStation console exclusive. PlayStation seems very open, Sony does, for PC releases. So at the very least, it'd probably be PlayStation and PC. But the latest rumors that have been going around from like Jeff Grubb is that Kojima seems like he's going to be working with Microsoft. I mean, he could technically work on 2 different projects, I'm sure, at the same time, as he's mentioned that there are other projects that he kind of has in the works right now. And I do believe that it is referencing the idea of a movie or TV series, because I'm sure there are some streaming platforms like a Netflix or Amazon even who maybe they would come in and fund a movie that would debut on their streaming platform, even like a TV series that has an idea for, just as a test run to see if it would work out. But him working with Microsoft, that has the potential for being very interesting. Mostly because the idea is he would use the cloud computing stuff in a very different way. I mean, it's Kojima. That's what we expect. He's the person who came up with the idea of a Game Boy game that needs sunlight for you to be able to play it correctly. So I would be very curious as to what he would do with the idea of cloud computing with Azure and Microsoft in a game after doing like the strand system in Death Stranding where you're kind of connected at all times, but you're also kind of not. Again, it's hard to describe. Playing Death Stranding at least give you an idea of what's going on there. But I went back to Death Stranding kind of recently, like a month or 2 ago, and so much had changed because people were continuing to build things out that like it looked like a completely different game when I turned it on with that director's cut. But there you have it. Kojima Productions will remain independent, again, according to Kojima on Twitter, spelling it out in a very clear message. But that won't stop people from theorizing. However, I mean, if you really think about Kojima, after what happened with Konami, he probably said, you know what? I'd rather go independent as a studio, bet on myself, and work to get contracts from these different companies to fund things like a Death Stranding, or who knows what he comes up with from Microsoft. I think Kojima, just as he is in the stuff he comes up with, he might be concerned that a parent company like Sony would reel him in a little bit. Death Stranding is a very weird game. I don't know if that would have been created under Konami or a more strict system around him. So yeah, maybe it's better Kojima stays independent, because I do like seeing the weird and wacky stuff that he creates. But let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you think Kojima's being truthful online on Twitter anyway, saying, no, we're going to be independent? Or do you think he's just trying to put out all the speculation for now until they get the deal completely worked out? Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.